Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about motion sensors. Specifically, we're going to be discussing intruder alarm motion sensors. We're going to talk about what they are, the components inside, how they work, including pet-friendly versions, and why your house probably isn't haunted. So to start with, motion sensors, also known as PIRs. PIRs stands for passive infrared, and that's talking about the technology that it actually uses in order to detect motion. Passive is because it doesn't actually emit anything, it's looking for light, specifically infrared light. So, what is infrared light? Well, essentially, it's heat. It's light that we can't see with the naked eye, but a sensor can be designed so that it's looking for heat signatures in order to trigger an alarm. This here is a pretty standard motion sensor, a wired version, but you can also get wireless units as well that work essentially with the same technology, that just work on battery power rather than the cable. The lens in this unit sits behind this lens cover, and this cover is actually very important onto how these work. Because of the cover, the detector looks out into the room into sections, and when a heat signature passes through those sections, it knows there's movement in that room and will trigger an alarm. But if you're a bit of a visual learner like I am, we'll go to the trusty whiteboard and I'll draw a diagram for you to explain it a little bit better. So come round here. Here we go. This is my very complicated drawing with a PIR motion sensor in the corner, and the sensor is looking out into the room into sections. I've labelled them just so it's a bit easier to understand. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here. Heat signatures, if they were to stay in one section very still, would not trigger the alarm. You've probably seen this before. If you've got a motion sensor in your room and you stand in front of it and you're very still, even though it can see the heat that you're producing, it won't trigger the alarm. The reason for that is it's waiting for movement. So let's put Bill right here and draw Bill. As soon as Bill starts moving, he's going to cross into different zones. Doing that, the sensor knows that there's movement in that area because it's picking up the heat signature, and it knows to trigger the alarm. It really is as simple as that. The motion sensor is looking for a heat signature, infrared heat signature. The human gives off plenty of heat, and when it moves through these separate zones, the sensor knows that there's movement because the heat is moving around the room. Therefore, it triggers. This will also happen if pets move around the room, such as dogs and cats, and even spiders if they get too close to the sensor. That brings us on to our next part, which is pet-friendly motion sensors. So I'm going to do another diagram here and show you the different setup of a pet-friendly motion sensor. So we still have our PIR in the corner. There's two main differences with a pet-friendly motion sensor, and I'm going to show them here. Now this is my very complex drawing of a pet-friendly motion sensor. So the pet-friendly motion sensor is sitting there in the room, and the first thing you might have noticed is there are a lot more zones. The reason for that is because the sensor knows if a small animal crosses these zones. I'm going to try and draw a dog here, which won't be very good. The sensor knows that of its many different zones, only a small portion has been interrupted, making it highly unlikely for this to be a human. Therefore, the sensor knows to ignore it. Also, with a very clever feature, that the sensor is looking for a certain amount of heat. A pet dog that is 30 kilograms or under will give significantly less of a heat signature than, say, a human being. So, two things there. One, the dog is only disrupting a couple of zones of the sensor, and another thing is that the heat that the dog gives off, doesn't trip because the sensor knows to ignore a small amount of heat. Like I said, this is about 30 kilograms and less for a pet. So if you have a human who goes into this room, Bob is back, A human moves across multiple zones of the sensor, gives a much larger heat signature, and the sensor knows that can't be an animal, that has to be something much bigger, and we're going to trigger because we've seen movement. So there we have it. You now know how a motion sensor works, specifically a passive infrared. It's looking for heat signatures of infrared light given off by, say, a human or an animal. And it's looking for that heat signature to move around the room. This is especially important that it goes into the zones because you don't want your sensor going off by a radiator heating up, for example, or a small log burning fire, for instance. The sensor is resistant to triggering from those things because they stay in one place. Things that can interrupt the motion sensor is, say, if the sensor is looking at a huge pane of glass and that pane of glass gets hit with sunlight. The reason being is when the glass gets hit with the sunlight, it heats up, producing a lot of infrared. The detector sees this, and when it cools down, say when the sun goes behind the clouds, it cools down very quickly and there's a lot of movement within the glass. They have got a lot better with dealing with these, so it's not something we're too concerned about anymore, but it is worth considering, especially if you're going to put a sensor in somewhere like a conservatory. A dual text style sensor is usually better for those kind of places. They emit a small amount of microwave energy in order to reduce false alarms in areas such as garages or conservatories. But really these days, I find that the normal PIR motion sensors work just fine in most of these areas. So if you think you have a ghost that's triggering your intruder alarm when you're not around, I'm sorry to break it to you, because everyone knows ghosts don't emit infrared light. So your house probably isn't haunted, only probably. If you're interested in seeing me install an alarm system, click here.